Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. We are the Abrahams. So good to be with you guys again. How about you? Hope you had a wonderful Easter.
Yeah. You didn't. What about me? I mean, me too. I should have a wonderful Easter.
And she did not have a wonderful Easter.
She was not around during Easter.
I want to do the work of God.
She left only me in the house.
Yep.
Left me.
Because I want to do the work of God.
That is good.
That is very, very important. That I will be rewarded for when the life or this life like this is over.
So you mean that you left in the house of God?
You answer for yourself when you get to God. I answer for myself.
Okay. It's alright. Let's continue. Good.
Okay guys. Today we want to, if you're new on this channel, you're welcome. We are the Abrahams, a film on faith, relationship, family, trendy issues sometimes, and personal vlogs, lifestyle just generally. My name is Ayomide.
And I am Toby Abraham.
Anyway guys, so today we want to talk about silent signs of an abusive relationship. Silent signs of an abusive relationship, or silent signs of an abusive relationship that has not yet manifested but would eventually manifest. Meaning things that if you see them, even if you know abuse in the larger sense of it is not yet in view, might be indications that run for your life. So we want to discuss today. So over the weeks, there's been a lot of things happening here and there. From the death of the former music minister, may also rest in peace, Minister Osinachi, to a whole lot of other things, people coming out to say their experiences and a lot of that. So a lot of people have said a lot of things already. Some are edifying, some are absolutely not edifying. That's why you should sample the information you get, particularly on social media. This information you expose yourself to is very important. But today we just want to bring it from another dimension, just like we said. So babe, you know that it is possible for you to be in a relationship. Let's start from a relationship now, where the guy is not yet slapping your face. It's not slapping your face like slapping or beating you or stuff like that. But there are huge signs of abusive tendencies. And I feel that if people are able to know this and are willing to live at that time, they will be able to save themselves from, further story that touch when things would have now gotten complicated in the marriage, their children, all of those stuff like that. So that's what we'll be talking about. So we'll mention some points to talk about it. So one of the very first points that I want to mention that could be abusive signs, in a silent abusive sign in a relationship is number one, anger. Now, anybody gets angry, we offend one another. Obviously,
definitely.
Yes, and we get angry at one another, but there's a certain kind of anger. Now I'm going to break it down. When you're with somebody that when they get angry, they obviously forget who they claim that you are to them. I was reading the article a few days ago, and it says that marry or date somebody that when they are angry, they are still kind to you. You understand that kind of a thing? I'm angry, but I'm still kind. It doesn't mean that I can't vent my anger, I can't talk and everything. But ultimately, I wouldn't do things that make you think that just like my husband used to say when we were dating in our relationship, he used to tell me that we disagree, but we are not enemies. There's a way he puts it that we are not. How did you used to put it?
Yeah, the fact that you or the fact that I'm angry, or generally I am well-meaning.
Yes,
and I realize that you are well-meaning too. So regardless of how hard or wicked or whatever it is that happened, I realize that first of all she's well-meaning.
Yes.
So why did she do this thing? She means well to me.
So he always says that anytime there's an issue, he always reminds me that the fact that there's an issue doesn't mean that I want to hurt you. I am well-meaning. This is just a disagreement, right? So when somebody is angry, they do things like they look for things that maybe even represent you around them. They throw it away. They throw it out, you know. You know, they throw it out, and you know, things like that. You know, I used to like have some of those experiences. Thank God that person is changed now. You know, things have changed. But I used to have some of those experiences. You're with somebody, and then they get angry, and maybe it's your bag. Maybe you were having a good time before the argument came, and it was your handbag, and they flinged it out of their door. You understand, things like that, or there was an issue or something. Maybe both of you were coming on the road, maybe heading home or something, and you had an argument in the middle of the road, and they locked you out. They just, as they got to the door, they just jumped the door at you and said, "Be going." You know, those kind of things. And you were knocking, and they're not even responding again. You see, those are anger, but that's another level of anger. We all get angry. Your partner can offend you. You can offend your partner. You know, things like that. But those, you understand what I'm trying to say, babe? Or maybe, they get angry, and maybe you went to give them a gift already, or food, or stuff like that. Or both of you were out, you know, having a good time when the argument happened, and they just barged into their car and locked the door and zoomed off, and they left you alone. You understand what I'm trying to say now? Yeah. Now, these are things that are extreme, because they are showing that at the moment of their anger, they no longer remember what they claim that you are to them. They told you, "I love you, you're love of my life," and stuff like that. But it's at that very instant, every memory of whatever good thing, they treat you like in fact, the way that you cannot even treat a stranger.
A base human. Or
yes.
Something that is less than human.
Yes. So I've heard stories of you were in the car maybe with your fiance or your boyfriend, and you're going somewhere, and the argument popped up, and the guy will park and tell you, "Get out." Even if it is in the middle of nowhere, get out. So, you know, all of these things are indications that there is trouble. Do you guys understand? There is trouble. Every time you have an argument, your picture that is in their room or something, they break it down. You know, stuff like that are indications that if already you are being abused. Yes, because emotional abuse can literally lead to mental disorder. Emotional abuse is a terrible thing, babe. It's not something that I pray for anyone to go through. Or maybe you're in their place, or they're your place or something, and your argument came up, and you're like, "Okay, let me leave because of the heat of this argument. When everything is settled, we can talk about this in a month." And they say no, because of that anger, they go and lock the door. Say you are staying there. The moment they lock the door, you know, the first thing that will pop to your mind is you're scared. Babe, it's a very terrible feeling. You are extremely scared because somebody who is arguing with you to the extent of going to lock the door that you can't go out. It means if something goes wrong, or you sense that something wants to go wrong, you have nowhere to run to, right? So the only thing that you begin to do is suddenly you just begin to say yes to everything they say, as a way of, it's not as a way of resolving it, it's as a way of, let me just get to safety, let me escape. Exactly. So if you begin to notice all of this, I don't care what they come to do afterwards. Maybe they bring you, they come and buy a private jet after. Excuse me, they come and buy a private jet afterwards. Guys, these are terrible red signs. If you know what is good for you, well, yes, that's what I was going to say. So babe, what do you have to say?
I think this, because I was even going to object at the beginning that it's usually ladies that experience abuse. I mean, guys also experience abuse from ladies.
Of course.
But I realized that this issue is that it actually covers both genders.
Yes.
Because I know a number of ladies that, I mean, they are volcanoes. If they erupt like this, everywhere will shake and scatter because of everything, and they don't mind the consequences. They don't. But after everything, they'll go down and be like this and that. Well, while it's true that we all have areas of weakness and all of that, there are some weaknesses that shouldn't be left the way they are.
Yeah.
You shouldn't you are not God. It's God that says people should come to Him the way they are. and
That's true. You are not God. It is God that told people to come the way
because
they
he has the
are.
power to change them.
And nobody can even kill God. You cannot break
You
bottle
can't
of
do
God.
anything to God. God has the power to change people, but you don't have the power to change. However, if this person after a period of time refuses maybe the help that could possibly make them better people, then just know that you're not in the right place. You're not safe
At all.
because that thing will only escalate. It's not going to get better. If people like that refuse help or they resist, they say they are fine and all of that, well, it's big trouble. And like my ever said, anger is something. I remember a friend of mine, well, even guys, we just had a good time playing football. It was Sunday evening. It was a rare time that we had to bond because we didn't used to agree. I was in school then, I think 100 or 200 level. And so we had a good time. We bought bread and egg Friday when we were coming back from the field, and we bought juice and all of that. And all of a sudden we got home, we ate, and we laid down on the bed. And one tiny disagreement began with two, there were three of us, with two of the other guys. Do you know that night all the beds in the house, they took it, because of the argument, they took them out and threw it outside. And nobody will sleep in this house tonight. And it was raining. Babe, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. They took all the beds. We had two beds, carried it and threw it outside.
Mattresses.
2 mattresses, excuse me. One big mattress and one student mattress. Threw it out in the rain. I said nobody will sleep in this house this night. Well, that was where the mattress slept, and that was the last time we used that mattress.
Wow, because they were totally damaged.
There was nothing we could do. We're now sleeping on the carpet. I'm not joking. That's what anger can do. No matter the makeup at the end of it, that is done. And please, hot temper or bad temper, I think the first thing is this person has to realize that first of all I have this thing, and then has to be willing to. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get a relationship with someone that is not tempered, but are they willing to even receive help? Are they willing to be helped?
They admit
that they have these tendencies, and they are ready to work on it, so that they're ready to work on it, not just for their own benefit, but for the benefit of you who are going to be with them. So you don't have the power to change anybody. If you keep thinking and praying, this person will change, this person will change, this person will change, and the person is not willing to change, in the relationship, just know that you're headed for a wrong or a disastrous marriage.
That's right.
Because the person is not willing to change the relationship.
It doesn't change now. And why we are saying that you should not totally discard people like that, because we all have something that we are trusting God for. Hey, be sure that they really, really changed before you marry them. At least in that area, that those extreme things have been taken away. And from experience, I feel that many times the best way for them to change is actually when they lose that relationship that they thought was valuable to them, and that relationship ended because of you left. That is really what changes them. So sometimes if you really love them that much and you want them to change, you have to just love them too much for their life to be damaged. So you have to actually end the relationship. Honestly, sometimes that's the best way to show that you really love them. That's the best decision. So that they can now start on a new slate with whoever God will now bring into their lives. Sometimes trying to patch, just like I said in, I think it was the last video, that trying to mend a broken piece in the same atmosphere and with the same people that broke it in the first place doesn't usually work. Most of the time. So a lot of times it's advisable that you start on a very clean state.
What do you have to say to ladies who find it difficult to let go? I know a lot of ladies find it difficult to let go. It's like, I don't know whether it's emotional connection or attachment that just prevents them from. They can see the signs, but each time the guy comes back, they still accept, or maybe they're afraid. They're like, look, if I leave this guy now, what would I eat? Or if I leave this guy now, what will happen to him?
I think that one is even another topic also.
Oh, really?
Because if we start talking about it now, it won't end. But I think that we should just quickly talk about one or two more points, because our time is really fast spent. Okay, so another sign that I will speak about, I will bring it from the angle of the lady now, as a wrong sign that can lead to abuse in marriage and you might want to run for your life, is when you're with somebody that constantly use that don't have value for life, that they constantly use the threats either of taking their own life or of taking your own life when anything happens. That's a bad sign. This is the example. I'm going to give this example. So for instance, you're with a lady and you have an argument or something happens, and before you know, they go and carry a knife and say, I'll kill myself. What? Why? Because we have an argument, I want to kill myself. Why? That's not a normal person. That person needs attention. They need specialist attention. It's not even your own attention. No. They need special. They need God. They need a psychologist. They need mental exactly treatment. You know, people like that, or guys who say, if you leave me, you know, there are guys who tell their girlfriend, if you leave, the day you leave me, I will kill you, I will kill myself. Anybody who doesn't value life, that doesn't like their life, or that doesn't, because if you don't love yourself, it's actually difficult to love another person. So anyone who doesn't love their life, always constantly talking down on life, you know, who constantly say things like that, they are in danger on their way to happen. If they don't kill themselves, they are going to kill you. So it is better for you to run. You know, there are guys who are in a relationship that were literally blackmailed into the relationship. There are ladies who want to leave relationship. I've heard many things like this who say, I can't leave because he said that the day that I leave, he's going to kill himself. And they're scared. I don't want to have the death of somebody in my hand. Or some of them go to the extreme cases and say, he said he's going to kill himself and he's going to kill me. You know, something happened in my place a few years ago. A guy is a very terrible guy, he's a criminal, has been arrested in and out of the police station a couple times, and I think the lady finally, who was dating him, finally left him. And you know what this guy did? In the middle of the night, I don't know, maybe he escaped from prison or whatever, God bless Nigeria system. In the middle of the night, he went to the lady's house, hoping the lady was at home, and poured fuel around the house and lighted the house. The whole family died, unfortunately for him. The lady that he really wanted to kill was not home. She was spending the weekend at a friend's place. Now the sad story is, because it was a festive season, the children of maybe the elder sister of that lady had come home to spend the holiday with their grandparents. So both those grandchildren, the grandparents, this non-Hollywood, real life, died in that. So this is how terrible it is, because sometimes people take everything for levity because of one unbreathed emotion that you think you are feeling. You are feeling, I cannot let go. By the time something like this happens, God forbid, then your eye will clear. These are disasters that you cannot revert the ends of time. Like 3 or so grandchildren died in that incident. You probably lost your mother, lost your sister, lost your father because of one stupid boy or one stupid girl. So you know, these are terrible things, and the best thing to even do is not to get into a relationship with people like this. They are psychopaths. Yeah, true. Even when you leave them, sometimes your life is still not saved. They bring out gun and look for the person to shoot the person and stuff like that. So I used to tell people, see, there are indications of desperation that somebody shows to you that it is not love. It's actually a sign for you to run. Like run or run. It's not love. Don't even go into a relationship with them in the first place. A guy is just asking you out, and somehow you notice that the guy is every single place that you are.
Stalking you.
He's stalking you. Somebody's asking you out and he's already stalking you. Your life is already in danger. You should report that. Get a restriction against the person. I know you say, it hasn't gotten to that. Okay. Because these are indications. Yes. That these people cannot let go. They have problem. They have mental problem, or they need deliverance or something. So all of these things, people that don't value life, don't even go into a relationship with them, because those ones, they are so dangerous. Even when you leave them, sometimes they are looking for everything to kill and destroy. They talk down like, what is in this life? Kinikon, you know, all those kinds of things. So baby, if you have anything to say concerning this one,
I think you said those are two powerful points. It should just be it should just be important for us to prefer solutions to some people who are already in those kind of relationships and find it difficult to leave.
Okay.
For instance, this psychopath issue, and the guy has already threatened you, the day you leave me, such and such will happen. You want to leave but you can't. And for those who, for one reason or the other, they can't snap out of their emotional attachment with an abusive relationship. So those kind of these things, we'll try as much as possible to prefer solution to those challenges. I think you've spoken well on this issue. There are lots of other signs, but these are the major
signs, so
indicators.
But there's still one major sign I feel that we should talk about, if not that our time.
Okay, let's just take a minute.
That's really good. Because another major sign, major sign, there are lots, we just put it into these three major signs, is when you're with somebody who constantly feels threatened by you. Do you understand? They constantly feel threatened by you. It could be a man, it could be a lady, maybe. And how you would know that somebody feels threatened by you? They will not come and tell you and say, hey, I'm threatened by you, or I'm threatened by your success. But no matter how much they say, oh, I love you, I support you, even if they say it every day, if their action betray their words, you have to believe their action over their words.
Definitely.
You understand? So if they say I support you every time, and you see a competitive spirit in them. So for instance, you just got a job that is paying you well and something, they have no reason to leave their job. But just because you just got a job that is paying you well and everything, decide saying, hey, me too, I want to do my job. You know, these are subtle things. Me too, I want to leave my job and this one. Or they start saying things like, so why would you not want to go for that? You know, there are stories of people you're dating, you get a good paying job and their boyfriend told them not to do it.
Yeah.
Boyfriend though.
You
see, I don't know, sometimes some ladies I don't know, boyfriend told them not to do it. Said they should not do the job.
Not your husband, your boyfriend.
They should not do the job, and then so they did not do the job. Because their whole life is circled around that guy. That's what they think. Their whole life is circled around that guy. Because you're not thinking, what if so happens tomorrow? You know, all of these things. Or there are guys who, they are okay, for instance, in a relationship. And the guys, they are okay. Maybe they have money and everything. But they never really empower the women in their life to be something outside of them. So you know that there are guys like that. They are okay. They have money. They have everything. They would never. If the lady say, oh, I have this business idea, I have so amount for help me with this so I can start this. No. In fact, there are stories of the lady will be doing that thing secretly. You know, ladies subject themselves to all sorts of things.
The guy could provide what they need, but ensure that they become nothing outside of him.
Exactly what I'm saying, baby. Yeah, you're very right. So sometimes those ladies will not start selling things secretly to their friends. Start selling things secretly. The day the guy knows, he will destroy all that. Maybe they are selling wares or this drop shipping kind of a thing. He's going to destroy everything. I say you don't need this. I've told you not to do anything. Why?
Not because he wants her to be free, kind of. It's because he doesn't want her to compete with
Exactly. It's a level of possessiveness that doesn't want you to be. That wants you to be less than a human. And some ladies don't know. They feel that, because guys buy me iPhone, he's giving me. So if the lady say, I need 100,000 for my hair, yes, they are willing to give you. But if the lady says, I want 20,000, I want to add to my business, I want to buy some, they say no.
Which business are you
doing? Something. Stuff like that. There are really terrible indications that you should pay attention to. And sometimes in the other end of it, a lady that is not contented too can be in this category. Because a lot of things happen these days. So you don't want to carry somebody that wants to push you till you literally die. They are the one that killed you, but it's just that they didn't put a gun in your neck because of overpressure. Those kinds of things. And another thing again, at the extreme end, I have a reservation about this. When a man, there's something that Pastor Kingsley's wife and the woman said one time. They said marry the pattern, not that's the way they put it, not the what do you call prospect or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, prospect is nice and potential.
Yeah, potential, thank you. Married patterns are not potential. You can see somebody this person has potential to be good, has potential to be great. Go and study what has been the person's pattern over the years. So a man has he lost his job 10 years ago. Till today, he hasn't gotten another job. It's fine. There could be situations like that, and he's not doing anything, like absolutely nothing. Why you're saying that he's just looking for a job, he's just looking for a job, that may be a very bad indication. You know, I heard a story on Justice Court the other day, and it was also a very terrible story about that lady. She was a banker. She married a guy like that. She was the one that collected the house, did the wedding, everything, because the guy didn't have a job. And initially, was even lying that he had a job, but the guy didn't have a job. And eventually, at the end of the day, the lady lost her job. Her life was ruined. The guy abused her, beat her. And I think the guy even did something diabolic. So of course she said at some point he brought water and said the pastor said she should touch the water and used to pray for him so that his own life too will start getting better, that the woman has blessing in her. And from that instant he got a job and everything began to fall apart for the woman, including her salary that she was using to take care of the family, until that day she came to Justice Court and said she could not even afford 8,000 naira as a stand. This was a top banking official already. So things like that. So sometimes those patterns are indication to you that this person, because there's a way that God creates men. God made men to be groomers to be groomers. So there's a way that if a man is not grooming, if a man is not tending something, a man is not tending, he's not grooming, he's not taking care of you, it's not a matter of you being this thing or putting everything on men. No, there's a kind of purpose, a lack within that man that the man is not fulfilling. And many times the response of many men to it will now be excessive anger and frustration. You understand what I'm trying to say, babe? That will now make the man to start abusing the woman. Do you understand? Those kinds of things. So if a man has been for 15 years and since that 15 years he's not gotten a job, he's unable to get his feet back and everything, don't just love with pity and say, oh, pity, let's just pity. No, there must be something, a pattern that even though he didn't get a job for that 15 years, he volunteered in so place, he worked in so place, he made some little money. He did. Do you understand like that?
His mind actually is committed to doing something to make the situation better, not just staying around, sitting around, going out to newspaper stand and arguing with people from morning to night. From there, enter
and then you drink and drink.
From there, other
vices would develop. So that's a very terrible indication for you. When a person is not sincere, you begin to discover inconsistencies within them. They told you something, they have a car in this thing. By the time you go to Abuja, you didn't see the car. They say, oh, I forgot to tell you, I saw the car. Then they say they have it. I say, no, I forgot to tell you. My uncle wanted to use the house, so that's why we can't go there now.
Many times as a lady, if you be sensitive, you know that something is wrong.
Yes.
You know that something is wrong. At that point, it's better to just let's pause about this. Let's review these things that happened first. For many ladies tend to skip it. Oh, don't worry, it'll be better. Don't worry, things will turn out really good and that. Those conclusions are very dangerous because in the long run, we get to hear a lot of sad stories about them, and that's what we began to hear about in this past couple of weeks. It's sad, very, very sad. Yeah. And to know that it even happened within the church, because it shook a lot of structures and frames that we had in the church. But that's why we decided that, look, alongside the many, many things, these are things that people need to hear and to know and to be instructed. Very important.
Because sometimes there's no point crying when the head is already cut off. But if there's something you can do before
about it. Better.
Before the head is
prevention
cut off.
Is better than
yes. So. And lastly, let's just say this before we round up. There's another that they used to say in my place. They said that there's no need to call a Ifa priest to do divination for something that you're already seeing with your physical eyes. So you're about to say "Kontaba fujuri akin fifada." Like there's no need for you to say, "I want to you need a definer to check this thing
when
you're already seeing it clearly. So sometimes it's beyond whatever you think, whatever conviction you think you have, whatever emotion you think you have for this person. If you are seeing this indication, it's a sign for you to run, no matter the prophecy. Even if you hear the voice, my daughter. Alright guys, that's our close to the end of this topic. We hope you liked it. Ask your questions and answers. We're willing to hear from you. Do have a lovely day. We are the Abrahams.